Hello loves, welcome to my channel, Jamie Marie Crafts. Today we are going to learn the granny square. Here are all of the things that you will be needing. You will need a darning needle, a stitch marker if you think that will be helpful for you. Of course you'll need your hook. I'm using an H 5mm. I have a nifty little yarn needle threader here that I got from Clover. And of course, your scissors. Let's craft. Let me clean up my workspace. Okay, so grab your yarn, place it over your palm of your hand like that, kind of hold on to that with your thumb, wrap it around and give it a cross in the back, and then flip it back over. You've got two parallel lines there. Grab that with your pinky, grab your hook, go underneath that first bar and over the top and hook it around. Give it a little bit of a twist while you do so. And then you need to find that end way over here. Grab that, give yourself another twist, and then scoop it right on through. You guys just made a magic ring. Woohoo! Alright, so now let's go ahead and chain one. We want to do, so this is going to be a granny cluster. Granny clusters is 3 double crochets. So you yarn over, go through that loop, yarn over and pull up that loop, yarn over one more time, go through 2, and go through 2. That's a double crochet. We want to do that 2 more times for a cluster. Let's grab that tail. We want to make sure we're working over our tail here. Where do I have... What in the world happened there? Do you guys see that weirdness right there? So let's try this again. Okay. We're going to do a double crochet, yarn over, go through the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, and go through 2. Twice more, yarn over, through the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. One more time, double crochet. Okay, now we are going to chain 2. This is going to be a corner, and 3 more double crochets, forming your granny cluster. 1. Heaven's sakes. And 2. Three. Chain 2. 3 more double crochets. And 3. Okay, chain 2. We need 1 more set. We're making a square, obviously, so we need 4 sides. 1. 2. And 3. Okay, now before you chain 2 here, to be able to stay in a corner space, I like to do something a bit differently. So let's cinch this circle up here first real quick. Okay, so now we've got our 4 sides and we need to connect it. So instead of doing a chain 2 and slip stitching, I like to do a half double crochet so that you can stay in the corner without having to slip stitch into the corner. And we'll go over that. So for half double crochet, yarn over, let's go into that first stitch there, yarn over, pull it up, yarn over, and pull through all 3. That's your half double crochet. And then we're going to give it a chain 1. So now you're still in your corner there, so you don't have to keep slip stitching. Alright, so to make granny squares more even, I do like to flip my work. and then we're going to do part of the corner here. So we're going to do 3 double crochets into the corner space. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so that's half of your corner done. If you want to use your stitch marker here, you can go ahead and slip that in there just so that you know where that corner is. You don't want to keep just going straight off. If that's helpful for you, definitely use it. So now we're just going to go jump straight back into this corner over here with 3 double crochets, and a chain 2, 1 and 2, and then 3 more double crochets into the same space. That's what's going to form our corner. And 1 more. Jump straight over to the same to the next corner, rather, not the same one. The next corner with 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 1 and 2 and 3. Chain 2, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochets into the same space. 1, 2, and 3. We have 1 more full corner to go, so 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 1 more cluster. Three. All right, so now we've made it to our beginning space here where we did half of a corner. So we want to do 3 more double crochets into this space here. All right, and now again I like to do that half double crochet to join. So we're going to yarn over, get into that loop right there, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. Chain 1 and turn. This is round 3, so we're going to do another half of a corner, 3 double crochets, and again, if you want to use your stitch marker here to remind you of that corner, you certainly can. Now instead of having just corners and corners, we have one in the middle, so we want to do a granny cluster there. So 3 double crochets into the center one. And if you find that I am going too fast or too slow, you are able to slow me or speed me up using the settings. Okay, now we're into a corner, and corners get 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. So go ahead and work this all the way around your square. Corners getting 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then the center spaces just getting the 3 double crochet granny cluster once you've gotten down to this end over here, I will meet you back. Okay, loves, we are almost to the end here. I decided to come back in the corner, or in the middle space here, before we get to the corner. So as just a reminder, the middle spaces get that granny cluster of 3 double crochets. And then here at the end we did half of a corner, so we want to do 3 double crochets here in this space. And then again, instead of doing the chain 2 slip stitch, I like to do that half double crochet to join. So yarn over and get into this loop. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3. Chain 1 and turn. All right, so round 4, same as before. So we're going to do half of a corner, 3 double crochets, okay, and so now you can see that we now have 2 spaces before we get to our corner. So each of the spaces gets 3 double crochets, granny cluster. Oh my goodness, do you see all these hairs that I get? Okay, moving on to the next. One more. And then back into the corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Three, 2, there we go. See how easy peasy this is? Granny squares are just the best. So here's something that I actually want to show you that you can, if you're using a larger yarn, sometimes I will do this. Instead of just going straight into this new space with a double crochet, sometimes if you got larger yarn, you would chain 1 and then go into the new space with a double crochet. And it kind of leaves a little bit more of a gap. It makes it so that the squares are larger, and it works better if you have larger yarn sometimes. So that is a tip for you. If you find that your square is bunching in too much in the corners, or in the sides rather, over here, try doing chain 1 in between the clusters. Just remember that nothing is really ever a hard and fast rule. This is crafting. We're having fun and we're learning new things and we're doing the things that we love to do. There isn't one specific rule that you have to follow when you're making art. I believe that this is art, so we're crafting our love into what we love. So it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Okay. We're just about to finish a corner here. So I will meet you when we get back over here to this end. Reminder, corners get 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Spaces get that 3 double crochets. I will meet you when we get back over here. Okay, so we are back to finishing up this corner on row 4 with 3 last double crochets. And then a half double crochet to join. Right there. Chain 1 and flip it. So we're going to do one more row. That's 5 rows for a traditional granny crochet. So we'll do a half corner here with 3 double crochets. And remember, you can go ahead and mark this corner if you need with a stitch marker right there. All right, so now we've got another space. We've got 3 more spaces that we need to do just a cluster in. So that's 3 double crochets in each of the spaces. Moving right along, singing a song. Okay. And one more before we get to a corner. Corners, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Chain 2. There we go. And another 3. Whoa. Wow. There we go. Okay. 3 double crochets in this corner. So, little crazy side note, if anybody can put in the comments what movies that I'm actually, when I do my weird quirkisms, be like, hey, I know that one, it was from such and such. Let me know if you get my weird Jamie-isms. Alright, so that is basically it. So you're going to do 3 double crochets in each of the spaces, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all the way around until we get to the end here, and I will meet you back. Alright, love, so we are back here at that corner with the last 3 double crochets to finish this round, and to finish off a traditional granny square size of 5 rows. So instead of doing the half double crochet, if you're going to end it, you can go ahead and do the chain 2 and, not a yarn over, we want to slip stitch, slip and slip, and then chain 1, grab your scissors and cut that off, pull out your loop and just make sure that it's snug. So that is your traditional granny square. So now let's go ahead and weave in those ends. I'm going to grab my nifty dandy yarn threader. So we're going to just place that in through there, and then zoop. Whoa, that's so fun. I love that. Doesn't necessarily matter, since we did flipping the work in between front and back, doesn't really matter here. So just go in, and again, this is not a hard and fast rule for where you want to weave in your ends. It's best to kind of get into the meat of the clusters over here though. But again, you can go ahead and do it any which way that if you normally do it. Totally fine. There's no hard and fast rules. Like I said, again, this is your art, and you put love into what you love. So no worries about any of that. So just weave it down through a few stitches. And then I like to go back up, kind of skipping that first loop again though, so that you can make sure that it's not just going to unwind. Let's see if we can get all the way back up to this very tipper top. And then just make sure that you're not really pulling on that string, because you don't want to squunch it all. And so that should be just perfect enough. So we can cut that one off. And then we'll go ahead to the center one. And so if you do a magic ring, sometimes they can come apart. If you want to give it a little squeeze and a tug to make it the center go, you can certainly do that. If the chain 3 method, I know that one has a little bit more of a hole in the center. So if you find that you're having a hole, by doing this weaving in here can actually help also with closing up that circle a little bit better. So basically what we want to do is just go around this circle again. So trying to get just into the meat of these stitches here, all the way around. Oh, these ones are a bit tough. There we go. And then if this one in the center, if you give it a tug, it should close up the circle if you have a gap there. Some people like this, the little circle gap though, because it kind of gives it a little bit of a cuteness in the center. You've got a little, you know, center flower hole, you know, so whatever works for you. So I think that should be enough. And so we cut that one off. And there we go. Your granny square is complete. Since we did the flipping over for each round, there is no one side. They both look the same. And so again, you can go ahead and do as many rounds as you want. You can make an entire blanket out of granny squares, or you can make up a bunch of granny squares and join them together, whatever your desire. All right, so that is it for the traditional granny square. Please let me know in the comments how you like to do your granny squares. Do you like to do a chain 1 in the center of the clusters? Do you like to do the chain 2 slip stitch method? Do you like the half double crochet so that you stay in the corner? Let me know in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Love you guys. Bye.